This horror game has an overwhelmingly positive review on Steam, so let's find out why.
I am writing
oh my
this
god,
under
right into it.
appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
Okay, whoa, okay, so this is really just like a point-and-click adventure game. Sure, okay, I'm down with
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture
Social media?
no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
Okay, let's do it, bro. Out the window we go. How do I jump?
Do not think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate.
Okay, I don't. It's not your fault you're an addict. That's okay. Don't worry about it.
When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
Sure, I'm assuming you saw something you shouldn't have seen. I apologize for my voice, by the way. I'm very sick right now. This thing. Yes.
It was in one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was...
Oh, I'm on a boat. I thought this was a cutscene. Whoops. Okay. Whoa, these ships are cool. Can I walk? Where am I looking at? Other ship, hello? Just wave at them. Hello? Are they shooting at us?
The Great
The fuck
War
happened?
was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation.
World War One. Which side are we on? Are we on the bad? Are we the bad guys? Yikes! Don't ask this guy where he was in 1914.
So
I guess
our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
Oh no, we got taken prisoner. Okay, we might actually be a good guy. Thank God. Okay. Go to the life raft. Are we escaping, or are we just like...
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors, that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone in a small boat with water and provisions for a good length of time.
Wow, those guards fucking suck at their job then, Jesus. Well, onwards we go!
When I finally found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings.
Did we not, like, try and bring any of the other captive prisoners with us? Oh, I guess fuck them, so
Never
whatever.
a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator.
Okay, at least we're in the warmer climate,
Of the
I guess.
longitude, I knew nothing, and
Look
no
at the stars,
island or
brother.
coastline was in sight.
That looks like Orion's belt right there. I'm kidding, I had no idea. Am I actually supposed to look at the stars? No, look at the moon.
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
I mean, at least we have food with us. Oh, wait, what the hell was that? Hello? Did anybody else hear, like, a really weird, like, moan there? Oh, God, the sea madness is already taking me. Okay. Drink some water. Oh, Jesus. Brother, don't look directly at the sun. That's really bad for you.
My solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue.
Okay.
The change happened whilst I slept.
What, did I shit my pants?
Its details I shall never know.
You shit your pants, didn't you?
My slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
Okay. Oh my God. I didn't know I downloaded an H game. Jesus Christ. Brother, I'm not into this. What are these tentacles?
When at last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see.
I don't like it looking at me. Stop looking at me.
And in which my boat lay grounded some distance away.
Are we on, like, an island, or is this just the water?
Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery, I was in reality more horrified than astonished.
I mean, that That's actually a completely valid response to this situation, brother. I don't think you need to worry about why you weren't astonished by a horrifying tentacle monster.
For there was in the air, and in the rotting soil, a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core.
Okay.
The region was
I'm
putrid
flying
with the
away.
carcasses of decaying fish, and of other, less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain. Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity.
I have a sneaking suspicion you're going to continue conveying in words the unbearable intensity or immensity of this situation.
There was nothing within hearing and nothing in sight save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear. The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
I mean, there are stars in the sky. Like, I don't know, I'd start fucking running. I'd take that oar and beat the shit out of those tentacles. This? Go! Oh god, I don't like that squelching. Ugh.
As I crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that only one theory could explain my position.
We've contracted sea madness.
Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths.
Honestly, that's actually a very good justification of what's going on here. Jesus Christ. I wouldn't have thought of that. I was like, oh my god, tentacle monsters, Cthulhu's gonna come kill me.
So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might. Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
Yeah, it's usually a bad sign when the birds aren't around. Oh, the stars went away. I guess it's becoming morning, too. Mr. Fish? Oh, it's a skunkfish from Pokemon.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding in the boat, which lay on its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens.
Why have we not just left?
As the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time.
Oh, I guess we couldn't walk? That makes sense.
That night I slept but little, and the next day I made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished sea and possible rescue.
Something tells me, well, we do survive this, because we're gonna end up unaliving ourselves, but something tells me we're not gonna find that.
I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease.
Cool.
The odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
I thought our goal was to go find the sea again. To the horizon we go! Ha-ha! Oh my god. It just gets worse and worse.
Guided by a faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
I don't like this. Are these like the Tyranids from fucking Warhammer 40k? Well, continuing onward, smiley face. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, there's a whale! That could feed us for years! And we could use its fucking blubber for, lamp oil. Yes, that's what it is, right? And we could take its ambergris for cologne. We'll be millionaires.
That night, I encamped, and on the following day still travelled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
I mean, theory suggests that eventually if we keep walking in one direction, it's gotta end, unless we're dead, but I don't think we're dead, so it's gonna end eventually, buddy, don't worry.
By the fourth evening, I attained the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance.
Yeah, why don't we go either left or right around the mountain?
An intervening valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface. Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill.
Alright.
I know not why my dreams were so wild that night.
I mean, you're literally, like, in a maddening place. You're probably dehydrated and starved. Like, your dreams can reasonably be pretty bad. It's okay.
But ere the waning and fantastically gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain,
okay,
I was awake in a cold perspiration, determined to sleep no more.
Sure.
Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again.
So then just keep
in
walking.
the glow of the moon, I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day.
Why?
Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy.
Is that how that works? I guess that kind of makes sense. It's not as hot.
Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset.
That seems like a bad idea to do in the dark,
Picking
but
up
sure.
my pack, I started for the crest of the eminence.
Let's go!
I have said that the unbroken monotony of the rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me. But I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon.
I'm assuming it's just vast as far as the eye can see.
Whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine.
Okay.
I felt myself on the edge of the world.
Jump off, quick! Don't think about it,
peering
go!
Over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night. Through my terror ran curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost, and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness. As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined.
Okay, I mean, then just fucking go for it,
Ledges
brother.
and outcroppings of rock afforded fairly easy footholds for a descent.
Doesn't look that bad. That's probably fucking really slippery,
Whilst
though, so be
after
careful.
a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual.
I don't know what these words he's saying are. What the hell does declivity mean? I feel like an idiot. I mean, I am an idiot, but still.
Which I cannot definitely analyze.
Be this?
I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath.
There's like a building in front of us.
The Stygian deeps, where no light had yet penetrated. All at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me.
I want to touch it. Let's
go!
An
object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
Let's get it. Touch it. Don't worry about it. Don't think. Just act.
That it was merely a gigantic piece of stone, I soon assured myself.
I guarantee you it's not.
But I was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were not altogether the work of nature.
You don't say. Yeah, that complete 90-degree angle right there. Nah, nature can do that.
Filled me with sensations I cannot express.
Horror, anger, sadness. Probably slight delirium from being trapped out at sea.
Despite its enormous magnitude, and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith, whose massive bulk
I would call it an obelisk and not a monolith, but you do you.
Of living and thinking creatures. Dazed and frightened, yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings more closely.
Are we a scientist and/or archaeologist? I thought we were a soldier. I don't know. I'd touch this thing too. Why not? What else? What do you got to lose? If you die, you die. It's like it doesn't. Oh my God! Why are we near water?
Now near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm.
Whoa! There's like faces on that. That's so cool.
Revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions, and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope.
Well, what are the chances this water's fresh water? Because I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to need some.
The wavelets washed the base of the cyclopean monolith, on whose surface I could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures.
I don't know. This just makes me want to touch it more. Go. Grab it. Hug it.
The writing
what the
was
fuck?
in a system
How are we in the sky?
Unknown to me, and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books.
There are a bunch of fish.
consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels,
fishes,
octopi, crustaceans, mollusks,
I believe it's just fish,
whales, and the like. Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world.
That one looks cool in the middle. Is that supposed to be Cthulhu?
But whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain. It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
Man, people who actually have read H.P. Lovecraft are probably nerding out, because I've never actually read any of it. I'm very interested, I just don't read often. I probably should. What'll be this? Dagon contains many themes and storytelling methods that Lovecraft developed in his later works, such as telling the story through carvings, journals, and character notes, islands emerging from the ocean, or fictional beings and deities being on based on real events and mythologies. It's also considered the origin of the popular Cthulhu mythos. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Hell yeah! So I guess this is a really good place to start if I'm looking to get into it. I like that a lot. Maybe I'll actually go give the books a read sometime then. I don't know which ones to read though. I'd have to look that up.
Plainly visible across the intervening water on account of their enormous size were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a doré.
The hell's a doré?
I think that these things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of men.
Like minions, I would assume?
The creatures were shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some marine grotto, or paying homage at some monolithic shrine which appeared to be under the waves as well.
Okay.
Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail.
Why? They're not really that. Brother, I've seen scarier things walking down to my local Walmart than this.
For the mere remembrance makes me grow faint. Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer.
Yeah, that sounds like your average Walmart experience.
They were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips, glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall.
Like tentacles.
Curiously enough, they seem to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background.
Bro, don't fucking hate on the artist. This is really good.
For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself.
Okay.
I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size.
I would say that that's probably the same size as the whale, is what that's indicating.
That they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe. Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born.
Honestly, again, that's a very reasonable, mindset to have in this. I feel like most modern-day people would be like, aliens! It's aliens! Cthulhu! This guy's actually bringing some logic to it. I like it.
Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist, I stood musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me. Then, suddenly, I saw it.
What? Well, I wasn't paying attention. What did we see?
With only a slight churning to mark its rise to the surface, the thing slid into view above the dark waters.
Hello? Oh my god.
Venom? It darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith.
Kinda looks like Venom.
About which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, the while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds.
What the hell's happening to our vision? Are we passing out?
I think I went mad then.
I don't know why. That's not that scary. I guess the mixture of starvation
and ascent of the slope and
dehydration
and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little.
Yeah, it probably was the dehydration and the starvation that made it pass out, I would assume. Are we climbing? What's happening? Hello? Hey, buddy, be careful. It sounds like it's raining. That means it's slippery.
I believe I sang a great deal and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing.
Why were we singing in the first place?
I have indistinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat.
I mean, at least we have water now, I guess.
At any rate, I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moods.
Hello?
When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital.
Yeah, I went insane. That's okay. It was all a dream.
Brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean.
Hell yeah. Americans always come to the
In
rescue,
my delirium,
baby.
I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention.
Yeah, brother, you gotta be careful what you say. I don't know what time period this is, but you can get locked up forever for saying just normal things. Are those tentacles? Uh-oh.
Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing. Nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe.
Smart. Very smart. I'm more worried about that, but those might just be wires. Hello? Mr. Dagon? Mr. H.P. Lovecraft?
Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist.
I don't. What the fuck is an ethnologist?
And amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Oh. Alexa, what's an ethnologist?
An ethnologist is someone who studies human cultures, especially with regard to their social and anthropological aspects. The term is usually defined as a scholar who studies human cultures, especially with regard to their social and anthropological aspects.
Thanks for telling me the same thing twice. Alexa, cancel! Thought she was gonna get in more detail to it, but okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so Dagon's the fish god. Okay, sure. He's not crazy. He's not crazy. Dagon was the main deity of the Philistines, worshipped throughout the Middle East as the ancient god of fertility and crops. The rulers of Akkad chose him as their patron saint of their war conquest. He also appears as the judge of the dead in the Assyrian poem and an underworld prison warden in one of the Babylonian texts. He is often mistakenly taken for a fish god due to the wrong interpretation of his name, as in Hebrew the word dag means fish. In H.P. Lovecraft's work, Dagon is an underwater deity ruling over the deep ones, a humanoid race with fish traits that resides in the oceans. He is worshipped by a secret cult called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Sure. I feel like I'm learning stuff that I shouldn't be learning about. Like somebody's gonna break through my door and kill me. Let me guess, this ethnologist is a worshipper of Dagon.
But soon perceiving that he was hopelessly conventional, I did not press my inquiries.
Okay. August Delarith and the Cthulhu mythos. August Delarith was an American writer and anthropologist. He also befriended Lovecraft and published many of his stories through his company, Arkham House. Although he greatly contributed to the popularization of the author's work after his death, he is surrounded by numerous controversies. One of his most questionable decisions involved introducing the good versus evil doctrine to the Cthulhu mythos, which contrasted with Lovecraft's view of the world and his approach to cosmic horror. As a result, the author's works are often misunderstood and misinterpreted in today's culture. It's also worth noting that Lovecraft was never really interested in creating a mythos, and the term Cthulhu mythos was coined by Delarith after the author left the mortal plane. Okay, sure. Hmm. I like the clock. It's nice. This is cool. I like learning about this. Oh, we're back in the house.
Especially when the moon is gibbous and waning. But I see.
Stop saying the word gibbous. I like learning about this, though. This is really fun for me. I think there's more of these games. If this video does well, we're doing more of them. I might just do more of them because they're fun.
I tried morphine.
That's not a smart idea.
But the drug has given only transient surcease, and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave.
Yeah, opium does that. Or morphine. Is morphine's an opioid, right? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm very sick and kind of delirious myself, so I don't know. But yeah, don't do drugs, kids, is the moral of the story.
So now, I am to end it all.
No,
having written
brother.
a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
We don't need to do this, dude. Don't do it. Can I choose not? Well, I guess there are no choices, so... I just slosh down that morphine.
I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm.
I'm pretty sure that's probably what it was.
A mere freak of fever, as I lay sun-stricken and raving in the open boat, after my escape from the German man-of-war.
It's probably exactly what it was.
This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply. I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed.
Ooh, I like it. I like that fear of the unknown aspect.
Ancient stone idols, carving their own detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite. I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind. Of a day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
Not New York City! Anything but that! Okay. Whoa, is that it? No, we're back in the house again. It doesn't have to be, dude. Don't do it!
I hear a noise at the door, as of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
Probably your landlord asking where the rent is. Probably also pissed you scratched up his walls. Okay, hello?
It shall not find me.
Uh-oh. Mr. Dagon, look, I'll get you your rent money. It doesn't have to be like this.
God, that hand. The window! The window!
Unbeknownst to us, it's just a child playing a prank that just got us killed. Well! Oh my god. Oof. Well, he's not gonna be in Dagon Part 3 or Part 2. Oh, there is, like, other things, too. Thank you for playing. We hope you enjoyed immersing yourself in our little pool of cosmic horror. I honestly really did. This was really cool. Bedtime, Cthulhu's bedtime stories. Are these also all free? Because that's wild if they are. This was a really good game. Well, this looks like all this game has to offer, and like I was saying, yeah, this game definitely provided. I was a bit hesitant because I didn't know if I'd enjoy a point-and-click adventure game. I'm really glad it was voice acted, because as you noticed, I am dyslexic. I can't fucking read shit to save my life, and I'm also sick, so it doesn't help either, but I enjoyed it nevertheless. It was a lot of fun. If I had to give this game a rating out of 10, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 Cthulhu's from Smite. Because this game is, like, really cool. I would highly recommend it. If you guys want to see me check out the other games, I definitely will. I don't really care if they're, like, you have to pay for them or not. Like, I'm super interested in them, especially if they're, like, this short. Because I feel like them doing it at this length, like half an hour, was perfect. That's absolutely amazing. So, I love it. But yeah, if you guys want to see more, let me know in the comments down below. But if you like this video, think about leaving a like and subscribing. It would really mean a lot to me as we grow this channel. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have an amazing day.